Hello! It's day 23. It's Monday. I've missed a day, I know. In the sense that I missed doing a video. I didn't actually miss the day. Luckily, I actually got a walk in. Just a bare minimum took yesterday because I had quite a lot of stuff on, as it was a Sunday. But today I've almost certainly made up for the lack of the video with a very, very difficult day today. Let me just set myself aside a little bit and I'll show you. This is probably one of the biggest, longest, farthest day that I've ever done. There we go. New record. And all that stuff. Yeah, 5.66 miles. That was at work and walking to and from work. In other words, I walked to work, did work, came home from work, all walking, upstairs, downstairs, carrying things as well. That 5.66 doesn't show how much I actually carried. At one point I carried a printer up and down a set of stairs. A printer, and it wasn't a small printer, it wasn't one of like little inkjet things. It was an actual square box of a get rid of that now. Square box of a printer, so it was a fairly big printer. So yeah, that was interesting. So it doesn't really show it in that picture, but it's unfortunate. But I ain't complaining. New record set. It is only 5 o'clock, which means that if I go and do anything now, I will almost certainly up that quite a way up its bum, as it were. So yeah, other than work, not much has happened in the last 2 days for me to really talk to you about. I mean, I could talk to you about the fact that I went to a birthday party yesterday for my 1-year-old nephew. It's not particularly interesting, and you know, it's not. I won't say interesting for you. Not it was very interesting for me. I enjoyed myself. It's nice getting compliments from people that you haven't seen for a while, and they notice that you've lost weight. That's very nice, very welcoming. Makes me feel a lot better, so I ain't gonna complain about that at all. Food wise, last couple of days has been up and down like normal. Yesterday was fairly good. I had a couple of bits and pieces that I wanted to, and a couple of bits and pieces that I wanted to try. And Saturday night I got a bird's eye lasagna, put it in the oven for 40 minutes, and it smelt fantastic, as a lasagna does. Like lasagna, it doesn't matter how good the lasagna is itself, it taste wise, the smell is always going to be good. Turned out to be pretty much cardboard. At least that's what it tasted like anyway to me. So that was disappointed with that. I ended up going down to the shop to actually buy myself something proper, something good, because I find that because I'm eating so little, I want everything that I have to be good food. I don't want shit, basically. I don't want a pot noodle anymore. I don't want to buy cheap, Sainsbury's own burgers. I want proper, fillet sauce. I want proper good cuts of meat. And I want proper beans like Heinz beans. And because I'm eating less of it than normal, the stuff lasts longer. So you can actually pay more for a tin of beans, for instance, that costs like 50p or whatever it is a tin of Heinz cost. And because I'll only eat a quarter of a tin at a time, that tin will literally last me 4, 5, 6 days. You use them once, you stick them in the fridge. You use them again, and you stick them in the fridge until they're all done up. So for me, I'd rather spend 30% more on food that I'm going to eat and that I'm going to really enjoy than trying something that's not so premium, as it were, not so branded in a specific way, just because I want to save money. I'd rather spend that 30% because that's what it is. That's roughly the brand to an own, a Sainsbury's or Tesco or what a Co-op own. You know, like a supermarket's own brand, as it were. No frills, as what I used to call them. No frills. It's usually about 30% or something. Really silly. I mean, they've got value, and then they've got their own, and then they've got the brand. The brand's always expensive. The own's usually, as I said, about 30% less, and then you got the value, which is even less, like 50% less. And I'd rather spend the money and get something decent. What do you think, folks? Would you, if you could only eat a certain amount a day, wouldn't you rather have something really good and tastes exceptionally good compared to something that is cheaper but it doesn't necessarily taste as good? There are exceptions to this rule in the sense that there are some things that people find, like own brands and value brands, that taste better than the branded thing, which is fair enough. I can completely understand that. Milk, for instance, is one of those where I'd rather have the Tesco own milk or the Sainsbury's own, whatever, own, rather than a Cavendish, for instance. The Cavendish not necessarily tastes better to some people. To me, it doesn't. So I don't need to worry about it. But when it comes to food itself, then most likely I want to go with brands. Anyway, that's the question for you folks. If you're interested in answering comments in the Facebook or the YouTube, I'll let you know. So we're coming to the end of this now. We've only got like 5 walks left? 4 walks left? Wow. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 5 walks left. This time last year, I was on 48.5 miles for 23 days, and I'm currently at 62.6 miles, 62.64 miles exactly, as of the 23rd day of this month, which means that I'm about 15 miles ahead, basically. 14 miles ahead, pretty much, of where I was last year. Which is quite amazing, I think, because since last year I've had surgery. Yes, and I've lost a lot of weight, but I've had to recover from the surgery, so I've not been able to do as much walking. Especially the start of January, I thought I probably would be nowhere near capable of doing anything like this during February, but here I am. So, anyway, let me sit up a bit. I'm slouching. Anyway, I sit up now at the end of the video. So yeah, the Just Giving link is in the description below, so please check that out if you haven't already done so. I've adjusted some of the bits in it, especially the goal. The goal was just stupid, but I've set it to a little bit lower now. In other words, I've halved it and then took a 0 off the end of it. That's how drastic it got. Regardless, everything is in the description if you want it. I haven't been listening to much music today, so I haven't got a favourite album that I've been listening to share with you. So, yeah, tomorrow indeed. See you later, folks. Have a good one. Bye.